What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, and I'm here with a update for BBL. You guys see what's on the screen right now. We are 1-4 with a -5 differential. We went on a 4-game losing streak to start off the season. All of them were really close, let's be honest. Week 1, very close, just came down to basically I let my opponent get in to his what is it called? His Calyrex Ice Rider at the wrong time and ended up sweeping me under Trick Room. If I had one turn left, we actually would have come back and done it. That's on me. I should have noticed me better, played around that a bit more, maybe ran Protect or something, who knows. Next week against the Hangzhou Sparkling Area, I'm of the mindset that if our Landers did not get crits, we definitely would have taken that game, but at the end of the day, I still choked by going for the second shift gear with my Genesect instead of KOing the Latios outright and taking that chip damage from the Mystical Fire. Next up against the Mighty Nents, I played phenomenally. I was doing so amazing. It was 5-3, and basically what happened was I ended up going into Dracovish too early, once again for the second time, and getting a KO on the Milotic with my Scarf Dracovish, allowing his Salamence to come in and sweep me. What should I have done? Knock on to Dracovish and allow Salamence to sweep me. It's that simple. Week 4, excuse me. Week 4 against the Walt Disney Landorus, again, I choked. All I had to do was switch out of my Dracovish, set up Sand, and I won the game. But I didn't do that. And week 5, we ended up picking up a nice win, a really nice win against a team that's undefeated. And honestly, without that win, I don't think we actually have a chance to come back at least and make it to the playoffs, because the season is only 10 weeks long. We're halfway through the season and we are 1-4. We basically need to go at worst 4-1 in our remaining 5 games, and we have a really interesting, difficult schedule for the rest of the way. And it's going to start next week against the Chicago Dragapults, and I'm hoping that we can get the win that week. But that team is very scary. Double Dragons, Dragapult, and Kurum White, super scary. But guys, we're making transactions. The reason why I'm doing this video is because we have so many transactions. I normally would not be doing them as the fan goes off, but I normally would not be doing this video because I don't feel the need to do it if I'm only making 1 or 2 changes. You guys saw it for NCP. I barely even spoke about the changes I made, but I'm making significant changes. I mentioned it in the video last week. There are so many changes that are happening, and we have to be ready for them because our team has gone under a massive overhaul. I do want to clearly point out what the stats for our Pokemon are looking like right now. Right now, the only Pokemon that has not come to a single game is the Passimian. The Genesect is our kill leader by far. 9 kills, the next closest is Necrozma with 3. It's just been amazing for us. Tornadus T and Landorus have been really disappointing for me. And Necrozma Domwings, I feel like I could have done better with it. I feel like I'm always running setup on it, and that's a mistake. I feel like I should be just doing a bit better with it. I'm not, and I'm not putting in positions to succeed. The fact that I don't have a dark type outside of Silvally is a big problem, so I need to make sure that I had a better dark type to support it. But yeah, we definitely have some changes to be made. But before we get into them, guys, I do want to remind you guys to definitely leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. The Ocean League, the applications for them, they did end on Christmas. That was what, Friday? So first of all, Merry Christmas, guys. But second, if you're not in the server and you want to follow the Ocean League and keep up to date with what's going on, then make sure to join the server. We're going to be having pick'ems, we're going to be having power rankings and everything, so make sure to stick around for that. It's going to be tons of fun. A really good way to get into new draft leagues. So yeah, now, here's the thing. I spoke to Liv, and she really gave me a hand a lot with this transfer, and also my front office. We had 2 trades, and we had 5 free agent pickups, and I'm going to go over everything in a second. The first thing, though, that we did was we ended up making a pretty big transaction with Luxance, and that is going to be we traded away Tornadus Therian for Excadrill. Now, what this does for us, I'm gonna talk about Excadrill a bit more later on, but what this does for us is it gives us a bit more sand abuse. We can really take care of the Hippopotas and use that sand to really benefit our Excadrill, make it a lot faster, and really make teams very worried about us because we also have Sand Rush Dracovish. I do want to say I'm going to miss Tornadus a lot. I really liked it. I felt it was really pressured by our team, though, and that's unfortunate because when your Steel type isn't that bulky in the Genesect, and your Water type is also a Dragon type in the Dracovish, it really forces Ice types to be abroad against me, and they're very strong. They're very tough for my team to deal with, so it was a big problem for me there. I didn't want to give up Tornadus. I really didn't want to. I wanted it to stay on my team. Unfortunately, I had to give it up, and the reason for that was because I got Excadrill, which is a better ground type, and the reason I wanted better ground type is because I really want to get rid of Landorus. I did not want it. My plan originally was to trade away Landorus to Kurt and his Walt Disney Landorus for the Weavile, and then trade Weavile to Luxance as well for Volcarona. Unfortunately, that did not fall through, so we have to go a different route. And the different route that we're going to end up going this time around is we actually made another transaction, and that is going to be a big trade, a massive trade, because if you guys remember, the rules are you can only have 2 Ubers at the very most, and you can only spend a most of 41 points on your Ubers. And Uber tier is from 24 to 18 points. So if you were to get a 24-point Uber, it means you cannot get another Uber. Period, point blank. So considering what was on the board left in the free agent pool, I felt I kind of had to do this move. It was the last move that I did, but I'm going to talk about it first. I ended up dropping or trading away Genesect to Howler for Vikavolt and Comfey. You guys might be thinking, Matt, you got robbed. And yes, technically, in a vacuum, I got robbed. This is terrible. Genesect was our kill leader. I love using Genesect, but because of the mod that I'm picking up and replacing for my Uber, I cannot allow myself to have Genesect. It will not, by the rules, it will not let me do it. I can't. So why not make the most out of it and get 2 Pokemon that I'm comfortable with? I want a title with these 2 Pokemon, and I can then build a better team. Why not do that? So I feel like this is definitely the best option for me. It replaces the 2 types, gives me access to webs with Vikavolt. Comfey gives me rocks, but Comfey is not going to stay on the team for too much longer. But guys, right now, losing out on Genesect is a really darn shame because I love that Pokemon. It was so much fun to use. If you guys ever have a chance to use Genesect, I highly, highly recommend it. It is so much fun. Our next mon, though, that we did, well, the next things that we did, because we did do quite a few things. So at this point in time, we've done our 2 transactions. I'm going to talk about what's on the final team at the very end, but we've done those 2 transactions there, and we have a good bit of points to spend. We actually have 1 point left over from the trade with Tornadus to Excadrill. Tornadus was 17 points, Drill was 16 points, so that's important to note. We have a budget of 130, and we can then spend within that budget. So we're going to be dropping 6 Pokemon, excuse me. We're going to be dropping Necrozma, Landorus, Heliolisk, Slurpuff, Passimian, and Comfey. These 6 Pokemon will no longer be on our team. The 5 that you see on your screen right now, they will be. These are very, very important Pokemon for us. They're going to play key roles throughout the entirety of the season, and I cannot wait to play with them again. Dracovish, Silvally, Hippopotas staying on the team. The only 3 members of the original team are going to stay, and I had success with all of them in different ways. Dracovish, I'm not ready to give up on it yet. I'm not. I really want to get comfortable with it. I think it's going to be really good, especially with our team, because it's not forced to be like a win con or anything. It can really do a lot of different things. It can break effectively. It can be a sweeper. It can be an end of game situation that is really hard for my opponents to deal with, but it's not forced to do as much on this team now, which is amazing. So, our Uber, we are picking up with 24 points Lunala. Lunala is busted. Now, I'm replacing one Pokemon that was Ghost and Psychic with another Ghost and Psychic. Why am I doing this? Well, Shadow Shield is better than Prism Armor, honestly, in terms of for what Lunala wants to do. Lunala also has 137 special attack and a much higher speed tier at base 97 as the fan comes back on. I apologize for that. But the reason why Lunala is so much better than Necrozma Dawnwings is twofold. Number 1, the speed is huge. Number 2, it gets a way to hit dark types. That's massive. Having access to both Moonblast and Focus Blast is huge for Lunala, allowing it to just deal with dark types instantly with powerful moves from 137 special attack is basically all you really needed from this Pokemon. Moonblast Beam is still a terror to switch into. It's so difficult for opponents to deal with that move. You have the combination of that plus Psychic coverage. You get access to setup options like Agility or Tailwind, Calm Mind as well, Roost for recovery instead of something like Moonlight or Morning Sun that Necrozma would be running, which in the sand really is a weak point. There is the issue of sand with Lunala destroying our Shadow Shield, but again, I'm not too concerned about that because Lunala can just come in and be a terror without its ability. It can really just use a Choice Scarf and just wear it down the team so well, and that's exactly what Lunala is here to do. The issue with, and I can't stress this enough, I need to have a good Dark type with this Pokemon. If I don't have a good Dark type, then Lunala will have the same problem that Dawnwings and Necrozma did. It will. So this is our first transaction that we've done. I'm excited to use it. Lunala is honestly incredible. I picked up Lunala, not Lunala, but I picked up Pokemon Sun and Moon over Pokemon Moon, over Pokemon Sun because I like Lunala a lot more than Solgaleo, and it is insane how good Lunala is. I'm so excited to use it. It definitely has that weakness to Ghost and to Dark, but it's fast enough to outspeed a lot of them. It can be bulky enough to take a lot of hits from them too. Heavy Duty Boots is a great item on this thing as well, if I don't know what item to run. Honestly, I'm so excited for Lunala. Cannot wait. Let's go ahead and jump into our next free agent, which is going to be the Dark type we were talking about, Hydreigon. Now, Hydreigon is phenomenal for us. The reason that I picked up Hydreigon is because, yes, I have double dragons now with Hydreigon and Dracovish, but Dracovish isn't really a dragon type. It's not even a water type. It's just an attack. It is Fish's Rend, and that is it. That's all it is. Hydreigon at 16 points gives me a Pokemon that, one, is a dragon type, a dark type, so it is immune to psychic moves, it resists Ghost, and it resists Dark. It also gets recovery, and it forces switches, has access to U-turn, allowing me to get into my Lunala a lot a lot more freely, and it's just going to create so many problems, so many headaches for my opponent's team. At 98 base speed, it also outspeeds Lunala by 1 point, which doesn't matter too much. We have really decent speed tiers on this team. It's a little bit slower, but not too slow. But at the end of the day, with Hydreigon, its coverage, its ability to force switches, to really force in fairy types as well, is going to be very key, because we do have access to Excadrill, which is going to be a punisher for those fairy types. U-Turn with Nasty Plot, with access to Dark Pulse and Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, Earth Power, again, Roost. It also gets Defog and Taunt, which are very nice support moves as well. Hydreigon can be a very good supportive Pokemon, but also a very good offensive breaker with its ridiculous 125 special attack. I love this thing. I'm super excited for it. I used it once in the GDL where it was, this is before any of the DLCs dropped, and it was a menace. It was amazing. It was my #1 pick in the draft that time around, and it obviously it showed out, but it wasn't worthy of being that selection because obviously there was the dex cuts. That's why it was that #1 selection for me. But at the end of the day, it's still a very strong mon, very good at supporting, very good at being a teammate to Lunala and to Excadrill. I think it's gonna be a phenomenal pairing because they just all these first three here, the Lunala, Excadrill, and Hydreigon work very well because Lunala is immune to the fighting moves that these two are weak against, and then Drill resists the fairy moves and the dragon moves that Hydreigon is weak against. Basically, this pairing here is phenomenal. I cannot wait to use this pairing here. I honestly love it, and we're going to move on to our next mon, which is going to just round this team out even more, and that is going to be our Terrakion. Now, Terrakion is joining the team again. I used Terrakion once before in the APA Academy, I believe it was. We had a little bit of success with it. It was a ton of fun to use, don't get me wrong. I actually am having a lot more fun with Keldeo in the NCP than I am with Terrakion, probably because it gets momentum, probably because I feel like special is a bit better than physical because of Intimidate, but also because Terrakion is walled by a couple different things, and that's the big thing. Fighting Rock is amazing. It's a great typing. If you can get the +2 in your special, in your attack, and in your speed, one or the other, honestly, it just hits so hard. It's so difficult to deal with. Terrakion is definitely a menace. It gives us another rocker here, so we don't have to rely solely on Excadrill and on the Hippopotas to set up rocks for us. It gives me access to more taunt, gives me access to set sweeping ability, and to an immediate breaker, and its speed tier is really good. Bridging the gap between our Hydreigon and everything else. Being at 108 is solid. It basically means that anything that's like I think slower than 125 or something has to run a Jolly Nature to make sure they can always outspeed the Terrakion instead of running like an Atom Nature or a Modest Nature. Basically, that's what this does for us. It's very important for us. Big weaknesses, again, it's another weakness to fighting, but Lunala is coming to every game, so if I make the right prediction into Lunala, then it's basically over. And at the same time, if my opponent goes for a knockoff or a Dark Pulse or something against Lunala, Terrakion has justified. I will take my +1 boost and be on my merry way, and then fire off close combats, Rock Blast, or Iron Heads, whatever, against my opponent's team. I definitely feel that's a very strong option. Having justified with Terrakion is a really good option with Lunala. Yes, the fighting weakness is there. We do have Lunala, like I said, we do have Vikavolt, which is a resist at least, and I feel like we cover fighting decently well with the remainder of our picks, that we should be pretty good against the fighting types that are going to be coming in against our team. Our next mon is going to be one that I've wanted to use forever, and I'm so happy to finally get it. I actually made the trade with Howler for Vikavolt instead of just dropping Genesect outright because I really want to pick up this guy, and the reason why I went with it was because Slurpuff gives me webs, Vikavolt gives me webs. I didn't want to lose out on webs, so I'm changing it. I'm changing Slurpuff for a different fairy, and that fairy type is going to be Comfey. Now, Comfey or Comfey, however you want to pronounce it, is amazing. I love Comfey. Just having priority, not just +1 priority, but +3 priority, Draining Kiss, is amazing. +3 priority, Giga Drain, Synthesis, Leech Seed, all of those are huge for Comfey. Its speed is at 100, which is good, but it doesn't really need that speed. I wish kind of the speed was put into its defense or its special attack or its HP even, but at the end of the day, Comfey is super bulky, gets access to Calm Mind, it's an Aromatherapy therapy user, it's a U-turner as well. It gives me the priority to deal with dragon types, with fighting types, with dark types that my team didn't really previously have, and having access to Comfey and Hydreigon, which are really good ways to beat down these opposing dark types with U-turn as well, is amazing. It's huge for us. The way that they can come in, take hits, switch out is going to be very important for our team. It's only 9 points, which I think was a steal for me. I love it. I think especially next week, by the way, I said we playing as a team with Kyurem and with Dragapult is going to be very key. Hopefully no Babiri Berries, but we'll see. Not Babiri Berries, Roselli Berry, that's it. Regardless, Comfey is a monster. Josh uses it really well, and I'm hoping that we can kind of take a bit of what he has, a bit of the knowledge that he has with that Comfey, and transfer it over to our team over here, so we can just crush it with the Comfey, because this Pokemon is going to be phenomenal for us. I'm so excited to use it. I cannot wait to use Comfey, to bring Comfey to a match. I love Comfey. I cannot wait, guys. It's about damn time I draft this Pokemon. It gives us another Defogger, gets Trick. It also gets Trick Room, I believe, as well, which is very key, and for only 9 points, it's a steal for us. But at this point, guys, we have a grand total of 10 points left. That's all we have left. We have 2 spots that we can fill out. Actually, that's a lie, because the way the transactions work is it's based on how many mons you pick up, not how many mons you drop. So because of that, it means I cannot pick up my next spot. So the final Pokemon we have, the last Pokemon that we can pick up, is going to be Darmanitan. Now, Darmanitan was a Pokemon I really wasn't sure if I wanted to draft. Or pick up, rather. Spoke with Liv, she said, yeah, you know what, Darmanitan's really solid. It actually is solid. It's very good here. And the reason why it's good is because it helps me deal with bulky grasses that the Dracovish and the Excadrill kind of are, you know, able to take hits from. They can really deal with those hits. It also helps out Vikavolt a lot. With webs up, it does not need to be scarfed. It can be a bandit set and just run house through a team. It can be a life orb set with life orb sheer force is very strong. It means that you can basically hide the fact that you're life orb for a good bit while showing off the sheer force. U-turn, you'll still take the 10%, but something like Rock Slide, something like Flare Blitz, something like Iron Head or Zen Headbutt, you're not going to take the 10% from life orb with the sheer force ability. But the big thing is it's another pivot. You look at my team, we have so many options for pivoting. We have Teleport on Lunala, we have access to U-turn on Hydreigon, U-turn on Comfey, Parting Shot and U-turn on Silvally, U-turn on Darmanitan, and Volt Switch on Vikavolt. It's a good bit of momentum to get into our big threats like the Lunala, the Excadrill, the Terrakion, the Dracovish, and really run house on my opponent's team. I think Darmanitan is going to be a very good experiment for me because I've never used it, and I really didn't expect to be using it ever, especially in Uber's League when there's a lot of Dragon types that are going to want to come in, take hits from Darmanitan. Honestly, Dragon is a really big issue when it comes to Darm, but if I can U-turn out on the right time, get into my answer, I'm going to be good to go. And I think the pairing between Darmanitan and Comfey is amazing. Our team is a little bit frail. It's a very offensive team, but at the end of the day, I think the name of the game is going to be hit hard, get out, hit hard, get out, and that is what it's going to be for us. Guys, that is the additions for our team. This is our full team right here. This is our full team, but we do have 2 more mods to cover. We have to cover our first one being the Excadrill. Now, Excadrill is fantastic. It says 17 points there. It should be 16 points. That's my mistake. I covered actually 2 abilities on this thing, even though it's the only one that's going to have 2 abilities because these are the ones I'm going to be using mostly, Sand Rush and Mold Breaker. I don't see Sand Force coming very often, but the good thing is about this set, about this Pokemon in general, is on my team, it doesn't need to run Sand Rush to be effective. With webs, it's not relying on sand. With the speed that my team has, it's not relying on sand. With the power that my team has, it's not relying on sand. I can rapid spin, get a boost in speed, click Swords Dance, be good to go. This thing hits super hard with this dual stab of Earthquake and Iron Head. Amazing with Rock Slide as well, or Rock Blast or whatever. It still hits very hard. Having access to Mold Breaker, Stealth Rock for any Magic Bounce users is key. Same thing with Mold Breaker Toxic as well. Is just very valid. I think this Pokemon is going to be amazing for us. I've used it before. I've gone to the finals with this thing twice in the IBL. I'm hoping that we can get to the finals, at least make the comeback with Excadrill on our team, guys. I love this thing. It fills a speed tier for us as well at base 88, which really helps us with the speed tier from this to Dracovish as well. So I will definitely take that. But guys, let's move into our next mon, which is going to be our Vikavolt. Now, Vikavolt, again, you guys know I've used Vikavolt so much in Gen 8. Since it got webs, I've been like, this thing is great. It's super good as a pivot, and my team definitely needs more pivots. Getting in this thing and taking a hit, switching out is super valuable. That's all I have to say about it. It's so important for our team. Getting access to Levitate, that's what I wrote there. What I do, Levitate. Having access to Levitate is super important for our team. Again, it's a ground immunity because you look, we have the Excadrill, the Terrakion, which are, and the Darmanitan, excuse me, that are weak to ground. Having access to what? 2 ground immunities in our Vikavolt and our Hydreigon is key. We are the only team with an Excadrill, so I don't have to worry about Mold Breaker ground moves unless they're like from like Turbo Blaze Pokemon or something, which are mostly going to be hitting like fire attacks or whatever. But at the end of the day, Vikavolt gives us a pivot. It gives us 10 points for webs is really what I need, and having access to a way to destroy bulky waters is also very valuable to my team. Guys, this is going to be our team. I just want to make sure that you guys see, I did not want to get rid of the other team. I did not want to do it. I thought it played really well. The issue that I was having was I think I was having such a bad taste in my mouth from really struggling with it that meant that mentally I needed a change. So we're going to go with the change, and we have this team now. Guys, I want you to let me know, what is your favorite new Pokemon from this group of 10, the 7 new ones being Lunala, Hydreigon, Excadrill, Terrakion, Comfey, Darmanitan, and Vikavolt. Which one's your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. And let me know which Pokemon you're going to miss the most. I know a lot of you guys answered that question last time, saying Genesect, but hey, Genesect is gone. We're in for a new ride. We got to get started with a win. We definitely can do it. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are closing in on 1,050, and we just hit 1,000 like a couple weeks ago, not even. So help us reach 1,050 before the end of the year. Definitely can do it. But we got like a week away, so let's see if we can definitely get that done. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all next time.